thing that we don't talk about is that the San Antonio Spurs, in my opinion, are much better than we thought. Like, way better than we thought that they would be. Do people agree with that? Because that's kind of my take at this point. Even though we're losing a bunch of games, we're actually a pretty decent team. Just as far as contextually, being young guys and whatnot, they're actually a pretty good team, man. They're putting up a fight against a lot of teams. And then the ones that we're losing like miserably as of now, okay, this wasn't the case all season long, but as the season went on, I feel like we've gotten better. But the ones that we're getting an absolute butt kicking from is ones that we kind of planned out the butt kicking in a way, right? Like against the Rockets, look, we didn't play Jeremy Sochan, substantial minutes to Dominic Barlow. And then it was another one because we got our butts kicked by well, I guess we didn't get it butts kicked that bad in this game. But let's see. Yeah, and then in this one, against the Rockets, Keldon Johnson didn't play. So I'm fully convinced at this point that the San Antonio Spurs are sitting players on purpose. Like I'm convinced. They also did it this past game, didn't they? Hold on. Let me see. This last game they did that. Where is it? Where is it? If I can find it. Oh, here it is. Yeah, here it is right here. Noah. He posted that, look how many players that were out. That's going to be out. And that's actually tomorrow, which is, yeah. Look at all this. Collins, Sochan, Vassell, Trey Jones, doubtful. Yeah, just sitting a bunch of people. Vassell and Sochan, those are the big ones. I just think that this team as a whole, they play so hard. And we've already talked about this before, but they play to their competition. And I think they're just much better than people think that they are. Like, they play the right way. The only problem is the fact that they're young. And that's not the only problem. It's that they're young, and on top of it, you don't necessarily have a star player. But that is also due to age, because I personally believe, from these games that I've watched, I personally believe Malachi Branham's going to be something serious. Like, I think he'll be a star. Him and Jeremy Sochan, I'm pretty convinced those two are going to be stars. So yeah, just throwing that out there. I truly do believe that. Honestly, I'm genuinely surprised with Sochan. He really was a great addition. Yeah, no, he really was. Popovich talked about this. I already recorded a video on this, so we don't have to go over it. But Pop already talked about it, how much he loved Jeremy Sochan and how he reminds him of Manu Ginobili. He said that twice now. Another part of what he said that I didn't go over in that video, but let me show you guys something too. So let's find, here it is. So let's find the part that I'm thinking about that Popovich brought up, and it reminded me of someone in particular.
What do we envision for him as far as an option?
For a 19-year-old kid,
he's talking about Jeremy Sochan, by the way.
To be able to do what he does when I put him at the point, catch lobs, make threes when he's not really a good three-point shooter yet, change his free throw to one-handed and go from 35 to 80.
Ridiculous.
He guards physically no matter who he's going up against. He takes no prisoners. He's not impressed with anybody he plays against.
That's it. That's one thing that stood out to me. That line right there.
He takes no prisoners. He's not impressed with anybody he plays against.
Now, I'm just going to leave it to the chat. Who's a player that you can think of that's not impressed by anyone? That played for the Spurs, not impressed by a single soul. There's one player I can think of in particular that has like a wild statement. Exactly. Dude, you were quick with it. Arturo? You were really quick with it. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. He said he wasn't impressed with Michael. Here it is. Tim Duncan. I've always respected him, but I've never been a fan of his. So you don't like Michael Jordan because everybody else does? He said, no, I don't like Michael Jordan because I don't like Michael Jordan. You got me wrong there. I respect Michael Jordan. But it was a quote that I think he said, like, he's not impressed by, like, no one impresses him. Where's that quote? Isn't impressed by much of it. Let's see. We got to find that quote. You met Jordan, but Jordan's Jordan. I've always respected him, but I've never been a fan of his, blah, 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 because everybody else is, You respect him. You just don't like him. I'm just somebody that isn't impressed by him. there really isn't anyone in the world I'm impressed with, except maybe for Stephen Marbury, who Duncan later listed along the Raheem and his favorite players in the league to watch. But yeah, tell you how you really feel, Tim. Yeah, but that was it. I'm just somebody that isn't impressed by him. So like Tim Duncan just isn't impressed by players in general. He's not impressed by the greatest player of all time, dude. And if you say he's not, then you at least got Michael Jordan second. Like, he is the best of all time, but you at least have him second, right? Like that's pretty insane. But I think it's the exact same thing with Jeremy Sochan. And I don't know if I've heard, and I've seen quite a few interviews, okay, if not just about all of them. And I don't recall Popovich saying that about anyone else. Maybe Kawhi. He praised Kawhi quite a bit. And I said this in another video too, but he gives just as much praise to Jeremy Sochan as he did Kawhi. So yeah, but look, just overall, I really like this team. I think they're playing phenomenal, and that's what you want. You want to play well and you want to lose. And that's the main thing. So yeah.